What's up, everybody? Welcome to my Monday Night Raw review live from Cleveland, Ohio. A lot of things happening on the show tonight. Pretty much a lot of changes also tonight in regarding to the Rumble and tonight's show. Cleveland. Oh, what a crowd. Very bad crowd this was, by the way, tonight. Let me get that out of the way. Kicking off the show with Samoa Joe cutting a promo, talking about the Shield. They ran through everybody in the WWE. And they took out people like Undertaker or Evolution. It doesn't matter who you are, but he is not impressed with the Shield and what they've done. And he's choked out Roman Reigns multiple times. They are all lapdogs. And he pretty much told Reigns, he'd be nothing without the Shield. As Seth and Dean will watch on the monitor, Seth told Dean to go get Roman. They were all watching the screen. And as Joe kept cutting his promo, said he would take them out. He's a man that's staying on his own, continuing to cut his promo. Reigns came out. They brawled in the ring. Sheamus and Cesaro came out to help. As they jumped Reigns while he was being choked out, Ambrose and Rollins came in. As the Shield tried to fight them off, they tried to get to Roman. Dean eventually got to him, but they got taken out as well. And they got Seth. So they pretty much took out the Shield right there, which everyone is in a single match tonight with Reigns versus Cesaro for the Intercontinental Championship for some reason. Sheamus versus Seth Rollins, I feel like we've seen that several times, and Joe versus Dean Ambrose. Since also, I guess we should also point out that it is WWE week, so it's going to be a lot of shows in regard to both pretty much Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, a special broadcast for NXT this Wednesday. Let me point that out too. And tribute to the troops on Thursday, which Wednesday, I might as well get this out of the way. It'll be Aleister Black versus Adam Cole, baby. But pretty much coming back into Raw, pretty much a really great way to kick off the show. But this, we kind of got a new Paige and Mandy Rose versus Bayley and Mickie James. I just remember Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville cutting these very bad promos and stuff, and they went against both Bayley and Mickie James. Well, pretty much Paige and Mandy Rose. Rose is, I still don't know how she made it through NXT this quick and barely was on NXT. Most of this was just to get the heels over, as Paige kicked Mickie James while she's about to do her Mickey DDT. Rose got the pin, but it just looks like they I don't know, this face team, they just have to put them over to make the heel team look credible, pretty much. Because that's what I feel like they're only doing. They're just there to put them over, and that was it. So the match was kind of, it was what it was, but this was just a way to put the whole Absolution team over. Next was I'm sure everybody will talk about, and I'm wearing a shirt here too, the broken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, as they pretty much cut this whole pretty much back and forth promo again like last week. So they had like a woken screen from Matt Hardy. This was literally the same thing from last week, but it was longer, and unfortunately the crowd looked like they did not care for woken or broken Matt Hardy and probably didn't know what was going on. Even I thought they could have just had a promo out here, but it probably will have to end up next week. But they went back and forth. Matt once again talking about his vessel. He has been here for thousands of years. The Great War has happened. Bray Wyatt called him a jester, and why not follow a king? And as they pretty much talked about each other, and Matt Hardy will delete him, of course. They pretty much went to laughing, and Matt does ooh, doing that. The promo was good for what it was, but it's literally the same thing from last week. So yeah, it was literally the same thing from last week, just longer, and crowd didn't seem to care. Maybe hopefully there's a promo with these guys next week though. But maybe I don't know. Allegedly they said Vince loves it. I don't know. Maybe Vince does think it's over. I don't know what he's thinking on this right now. I remember somebody brought up even saying that Vince said that white people chant ECW because he is conditioned to do so or something. They went to, what was next? Drew Gulak and Enzo to pretty much, well, might as well get into this story right now then. Saying that Rich Swann's opportunity was revoked and that'll be a second chance fatal four-way going on, as pretty much Enzo talked about the number one contender to be anybody and mentioned Nia Jackson. Gulak caught him on it. So whatever this angle they're doing with Nia and Enzo, I guess they're trying to go with each other or something right now. So I don't know. But let's kind of get into this situation real quick in regard to the cruiserweight situation, as people wonder why Rich Swann's opportunity has been revoked. Well, as we all know, over the weekend, and mostly the story broke yesterday of Swann being arrested, I believe it was for domestic battery and kidnapping and false imprisonment, I believe it was. The thing is, it's all messed up pretty much. He pretty much got into a fight with his wife. They said they were arguing over a wrestling match. He was critiquing her match, and I think he got pissed. And next thing you know, it just looks like he got bad. And they say he put her in a headlock and dragged her from the car into the car, I believe. And there's multiple eyewitnesses accounts. So Rich Swann is pretty much screwed right now, okay? And he's on indefinite suspension by the WWE. I don't know when he's made bail or not, or getting out of jail. Just looking at this whole thing, Swann ought to known better. You're a public figure, and it's bad for him. And I like Rich Swann, but I cannot condone the actions he has done. And he really is some very messed up stuff, especially headlocking his wife coming into the car. Now I know there's two sides to every story, and yeah, we should hear the side too, but he should be lucky he's not fired. But if he is convicted though, he's done. He is done, okay? He is, boom, he's out. He's pretty much screwed as it is right now, but he's out of WWE if he is convicted though. But he is just suspended right now. But I knew something had to happen tonight, and I guess they had to find a way to explain this somehow. But yeah, Rich Swann pretty much he screwed himself, and he pretty much did a horrible thing. Cause I know he said he didn't do it, but it's kind of hard to take your word now. You got multiple eyewitnesses. Now, even let alone if the video footage even came out of this, you're done. Like, worse, you can't even defend that if you're on video. Like, you'd be lucky it's not on video, but hey, you got multiple eyewitnesses, and that's bad enough. So I don't know why Rich Swann didn't walk away from this type of situation or anything, but the fact that he's gotten into that is just crashing down for that guy right now, and now gotta get a new number one contender. Finn Balor, a man with no direction, went against Curtis Axel, beat him, and what are they going to do, make it a handicap? I can see why now he's not going to be facing Lesnar at the Rumble, since they got to have Kane versus Strowman tonight to determine who faces Lesnar at the Rumble. So that kind of tells you they do not believe in Finn Balor and still believe he's bland. If it was rumored for Finn Balor to face Lesnar at the Rumble, but boom, that ain't happening. So he's got to beat up the Miz Taraj for some reason. He's beat them both, so what's the point of are they doing this till Miz comes back? Does Finn Balor have literally nothing to do? Because that's what it looks like. So he has no direction. It's bad for Finn Balor too. They're really killing that guy. Kane cut a promo somewhere in the building, talk about the Abyss and the Monster, and he will beat Lesnar and become the new Universal Champion. Which I'm just surprised Kane is even getting a title. What did Kane do to get a title shot? Seriously, throw Strowman in a dumpster and get a title shot? And Strowman, I'm surprised he's getting even in the contender for another title shot. He already wrestled Lesnar in a very bad match back at No Mercy, and we saw how that went and horrible that was, and he just lost by 1 and 5, so he already lost to him, and it killed his credibility a little. I don't know, and we'll get to that, which I'll tell you at the end of this video when we get to the main event. Sheamus running against Seth Rollins, which I feel like we've seen a million times in a way now, but this was a good match. I will say that. Especially Seth's knee getting hit throughout the match because he was hurt from earlier. But Seth won with his Rainmaker V-trigger move for the win. So the crowd looks like they kind of got into it in the near the end of the match once they hit up the big spots. Dean Ambrose was in looking in the back, what are you going to do about Joe, saying, I got strategy against him, but I shouldn't be saying this on camera. And he thanked Renee Young for the pep talk as she looked confused. Fatal 4-way second chance for a number one contenders match again. What he got to go against Gulak next week now, which was Cedric Alexander, Tony Nese, Mustafa Ali, and Arya Davari. Listen, good match from the cruiserweights. Cedric Alexander, who I've been predicting all day he should get this shot now. And yeah, good match, but crowd, it's like you hear a pin drop. And it only kind of, reacted towards the big spots, really. So it looks like the crowd did not seem to care. They really didn't. All right, like the crowd was like very quiet throughout the cruiserweight match. So yeah, but Cedric at least got the win, and he'll face Gulak next week for the number one contender spot for the title. So it's about time Cedric Alexander's got a better spot, and I guess this was the opening for him since the whole Swann situation went really bad. But yeah, like I said, good match, but the crowd just did not really care. Like I said, this crowd's very quiet all night. Gulak and talked to Enzo and said, I can beat you for the title, and Enzo didn't think that was funny and was about to talk about his PowerPoint was bad, but then he looked at Nia Jax and she smiled at him and asked how you doing to each other, and Nia told Enzo, we should talk when you're not busy. So they really are going through with this. So I guess she's trying to fuck him or something, or wherever this is gonna go. Some think it's gonna be Nia versus Enzo for the Cruiserweight Championship. Oh boy, how would that look? Cesaro went against Reigns for the Intercontinental Championship. Listen, let me say this about this match. Most of this match was Cesaro kicking the living crap out of Roman Reigns, okay? Especially targeting his arm. And it looks like Reigns came to get payback, and the match was kind of going, but like if you look at this match, 75 to 80% of this match was Cesaro hitting him with everything from finishers, swing, those uppercut moves, even almost into the Gotch neutralizer thing. He was destroying Roman Reigns. Crossfaces, arm bars, all that. And Reigns just sold throughout half the match. I still people think it's like Cena 06 in a way, but literally Reigns won with one spear, okay? Like Cesaro pretty much made him look like $1 million out there tonight. He made him look super strong out there tonight. So we knew Cesaro wouldn't win, but it just was kind of odd that Reigns was just, he gets the crap kicked out in most of the match, and the only ones were like, a Superman punch and a spear. I'm sure he did a couple of moves here and there, but like, he just won with one spear in the end. So he just had to, I'm just really surprised that Reigns just sold that much, and like I said, Cesaro to make him look like $1 million. Like, he had to sell so much. Win with one move. It's almost like he just shrugged off all the finishers and Reigns wins. So yeah. Strowman cut a promo in the back talking about he was going to take out Kane. Asuka was about to be in a match with Alicia Fox, but the Absolution came out, and Paige went on to say that we giving you chances now, Asuka, so you need to join us or we take you out. Asuka literally started kicking the living crap out of all of them, pretty much by herself, taking them out on her own, and put Paige in an armbar. But as they jumped Paige, Sasha's music played, and all the women's division came out and pretty much helped, which was kind of odd. First, I'm surprised Nia Jax was even out there. They never even attacked Nia Jax. And the women kind of looked odd out there because, it looked like they were all just kind of standing around waiting for somebody to hit their spot. So it's like they were just kind of standing around waiting, like, for one to hit their spot. Like, hit their finishing move or whatever. Like, you just see it was kind of jumbled. They didn't know where to go and just kind of standing very awkwardly at some places. And Nia Jax on it pretty much destroyed Absolution, and especially Mandy Rose getting knocked down by Jax, and Asuka with the back forearm and stuff. So they pretty much cooled off Paige's group right there big time after they had a lot of heat, because Asuka just literally killed them by herself. And then the rest of the women's division just comes out to destroy them, and then for some reason they play Nia Jax's music. So I'm surprised all the women even came out to just jump a faction, really. I was surprised Nia Jax was out there because she never was even attacked. She really wasn't. So, and what's weird about the women's division? It's like we focused all on Paige's group and nobody's focusing on the title. Like, no one has now focused on the championship. Like, Bliss is mostly on commentary talking all the time. Some people think they're really building up for this women's Royal Rumble, which I'm not really down with that much. But they really are not paying attention to the title right now. And it's just about Paige's grouping out. All of them got to help take them out now. I was just kind of surprised to see Nia Jax, she never even got attacked. Kurt Angle was talking about the ring needs to reinforce, and Jason Jordan pretty much came and apologized. And he's going to keep his cool, but he wants to mention Samoa Joe. And Angle says, I got issues with Joe too. I wanted to get him after he hit you, but you're going to have to wait. And as Jordan says, I was in the ring with Roman Reigns, Cena, and all these guys. Here's the thing. You didn't beat them. Alright? You didn't win. So you held your own, but you didn't win. It's not the same thing. And then, pretty much Angle told Jordan, you'll face Joe when I say so. And then he said, okay, or should I say Kurt, until he left. So, maybe Jordan's going somewhere, but I don't know, he's still not over. Samoa Joe went against Dean Ambrose, Jason Jordan was pretty much on ringside, was sitting on top of the stage with a steel chair. The match was okay with Joe and Ambrose. Pretty much Jordan kept getting involved and cost Ambrose the match, really, as Ambrose argued with him. And Joe pretty much hit a senton on Jordan, and he hit Ambrose with the coquina clutch, winning the match. But at least they put Jordan in there to see where it's going to go now. Dana Brooke, who is now officially part of Titles Worldwide, which Apollo Crews talked about Dana something, and I really can understand him. I have to go back and look at that clip. But now she's the worldwide statistician of research and development, folks. So Dana Brooke's getting promotions out here. Next thing you know, Gallows and Anderson, former Bullet Club members, since they have nothing better else to do, they go around calling people nerds. That's all they really do. And Strowman came out as it was him versus Kane, which Kane was mostly hitting with choke slams, which the crowd did not care. Once again, dead for this main event. And it ended in a double count out as both men went through the barricade on the ground. Next thing you know, Strowman still went after Kane. They picked up steel steps, which actually the crowd were right there for the weapon spots. They kept hitting each other with steel steps, and then they put his table in the ring as Kane pretty much took a chair and started beating up Strowman with it. He was about to, he got clothesline, and then when they rose up, Kane rose up, Strowman rose up. And you can see Kane was like in fear throughout half the match half the time, trying to get away from him. And as he was about to chokeslam Strowman through a table, Strowman blocked it and pretty much hit him with a power slam through the table, ending the show. But I don't think the people really cared. They only care for the weapon spots. And when I'm looking at this now, is it going to be a triple threat at the Royal Rumble now? That's what I see happening. It'll probably be a triple threat with Strowman, Brock, and Kane for the title. I was about to say, if Kane really was going to beat him, I really didn't know what to say there, because it's like Strowman can't do it again. It's just that he's already went against him, and he lost to Brock. So now it'll be probably most likely be a triple threat match. Brock's supposed to be on the show next week, so we'll see what happens in pertaining to all of that. But yeah, that's pretty much my Monday Night Raw review tonight right here. It wasn't a lot going on in this show. The show either dragged or just got on really boring at the time. I'm surprised Elias wasn't out here to cut a promo on anybody or sing a song about something. But it was just, there was just a lot of bad parts throughout this show, wondering, like, I don't know what's going on. Reigns just selling so much, and then he wins with one move after he gets beat up 80% of the match. The Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt thing was good, but it was literally the same thing last week, and Cleveland just did not care throughout this night. It was just like this crowd was dead, okay? It was really dead. So Raw was not really that good. Hopefully we get through SmackDown and NXT on Wednesday, since like I said, it'll be on USA a lot on TV and stuff. But this show for tonight, it was just it just dragged on after a while. You almost felt like it was a marathon show at one point, and the crowd was dead and did not help throughout any of these situations for this show. Like I said, good cruiserweight match, but the crowd didn't care, and like I knew Cedric was winning anyways. Nia Jax really has nothing to do. Paige's group looks weak since everybody jumped them now, and they're not even focused on the title. Finn Balor, a man with no direction, still fighting the Miztourage. which, like I said, kind of the stage now that he was never getting that shot against Brock at the Royal Rumble now, if you see that. So, yeah, it's probably going to be Kane versus Braun versus Brock at the Rumble. So, we'll see what happens when they show up next week, Brock and Paul. But, Raw just kind of went on. We'll probably see a 6-man, which the pretty much told the 6-man contributed troops with the Shield versus the Bar and Joe. So, that's going to happen. So, yeah. That's my review for the night. I already got to speak on the Swann situation, and hey, get ready for New Japan, folks, man. If you ever get a chance to go watch Chris Jericho attack Kenny Omega, it's a sight to see. I will say that. So I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later, and peace out.